Now today, cartoon news, the highlights of this video, Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, she actually wants to make a sequel, prequel, or renewal, but needs your help. Of course, we talk about that later on. The second highlight of the day is basically Scavengers Reign is officially not getting renewed by Netflix. We talk about that later on in cartoon news. And the third highlight of the day, basically every single touch and go sort of adventure story of Netflix will be removed. Something like Battle Kitty, Captain Underpants, and many other will fall that specific genre and Netflix. We're gonna talk about that and so much more in Cartoon Breaking News. Of course, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation. Not just animation, to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you'll like how it's going. I'd like to help my channel, putting a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. But you do. Thanks to you, I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I am getting close every single day because the people put like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now, let's start with the first news of the day. Now, first news of the day, we follow into Twitter/X a statement of Tomb High posting something very interesting. The Gummy Bear short film being developed by Andrew and Adam, who making a short that you follow a man who given a sort of experimental gummy bear for a sort of delivery driver who sells cannabis, and this sort of mind-blowing new trip of this gummy bear will allow him to see weird stuff, aka the Gummy Bear. If you don't know who we're talking about or what they posting here, the Gummy Bear is sort of very famous, sort of kind of meme musical or meme kind of music that you just put the Gummy Bear, the green Gummy Bear will appear and start singing. He's like very popular back, I think in the early 2010s, if I remember right, or maybe earlier than that. I just don't remember. But I did heard this actually coming into fruition, but we didn't know what shape or form. It was being rumored, but this is sort of kind of clarifying, yeah, this is real, so I'm gonna make a short of the Gummy Bear song. But to me, sounds actually very interesting, very possible, because it feels something like live action animation crossing over once again, and because of the Gummy Bear, it's just sort of trippy and weird. It just makes sense to make this sort of a live action animated short. Half of it live action, the other rest animation. At least that's what I'm assuming. In this sort of post, they don't explain to be half and half, fully animated or what. Hopefully they go that direction, because it just makes sense if you see the original music video. It just kind of works. Of course, a lot of people in the comment section don't really care about this because the green bear has been a little bit too annoying past couple of years, or at least the beginning of the years when they actually this was coming out. Nowadays, people forgot or want to forget all of this basically music video because it was sort of overbearing, overtiring. I can see why people don't care about much. It's more like a surprise this actually is the thing. But to me, the pitch really sounds interesting, that can actually work. Depends which direction they go. In fact, which direction you prefer if they do this short film, live action, and other half animation or full animation, just to really emphasize the trippiness of the song and the sort of drug take they see of this Gummy Bear. To me, it makes more sense. But the reason why, I have no idea. But usually when they do this sort of short of smaller IPs, it's sort of like a test. Believe me, there are a lot of different little shorts that you don't get why they made till you realize it was sort of a test to see someone will bite, or the fan base or a majority of people are interesting to watch this specific short, so we can make it a film. That's how sometimes it works. Think of it as sort of like a test pilot, and that's usually what it's trying to do. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's successful, because to me, I'm very interesting because I do love that trippy aesthetics, especially the 60s, 70s kind of look. But done it wrong could be annoying, done it right, it'd be amazing. But the only problem is every time they try to do a trippy kind of fest of animation, it just tries too hard sometimes. And hopefully they don't. Hopefully they can nail this perfectly. But once more, a man can dream. But I don't know you. Are you interested, or you don't care, or you like the rest? Don't bother. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now our next news is from Kazuko, basically posting something on the article, something about a product Komuzu, if I say that right. It's kind of hard to say the name. I do apologize. I posted here right in front of my face to understand what I'm talking about. Basically, this very well-known animator who did work on basic Attack on Titan, Berserker films, and also My Witch Academia, and many other animated films and TV series, that he decided to make his own animated film. But he decided also do a sort of a prologue to understand what this film could be. But to make this interesting, Takuhiku, the director slash animator, decided to do it all by himself. Basically, he did an 8-minute short, sort of giving you the idea of the film, that he'd make a music video. Now he's actually working up a 90-minute film. Everything for free on YouTube. You understand, this man who directed and animated by himself, doing of his own spare time. Yes, he make an animated movie just by himself. We don't know when it's gonna come out. Just remember, making anything animation, at least a 2 or 3 minute little short, can take probably a year or two by yourself. But do that 90-minute film, that could take probably 10 to 20 years or even more. But just be aware, you have to know everything. I mean, usually animators only have one position job they chose, like boarding or background characters or just doing characters. I mean, some animators do one or two things, but sometimes once in a while you have that one animator who does everything, and this is the guy who could do everything. And that's strange. I mean, strange, that's pretty normal back in the day in the 80s and 90s. Nowadays, no, everybody has a very specific thing they must do and also study. So it's sort of strange you find someone who's willing to learn everything, because they don't really need to learn it, they still want to learn it. And that's what people mean when you become an animator. You have to know everything. It's sort of kind of part of the job, but it isn't at the same time, because you need your own specialty to understand that. But this guy didn't care. He decided, no, I make my whole animated film. Of course, I did see the prologue, and the prologue is very interesting. Now, what is this? It's basically a God Fox, now words, who makes a whole city, a person, and he sort of maintained it. But you see him how he creates this person, and see him what he does. But during this time, the people in this small city realize this god creature is sort of an asshole and the type to attack him, but he's sort of big and also a god, so he crushed them, used them, and molded them to do something else. And basically that's sort of the prologue of this sort of film, and that's basically it. But goddamn, this film is really good. I mean, this short film is amazing. In fact, I highly recommend to watch it on YouTube. If you can't find it, just go to Kazuka page, and they have it linked there straight to their channel if you want to see it. It's not that long. Also, you have it on the music video they made. It's sort of an add-on, but what's going on in the city. But once more, it's something that you choose to see or not see, but I highly recommend it because it is amazing, unique, special. Just remember, they are making a 90-minute movie of this. But on top of this, you don't really need to know the story or anything, because the whole short, it's no dialogue. They have no words, just them just showing what's going on. I mean, clearly you just see the action. You have to reinterpret what they're actually doing. And that's just sort of very interesting. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a review of this, but maybe not right now. I'm not sure. Depends. Maybe I will upload it. I honestly, I don't know. But you get the idea. That's something I highly recommend. Also recommend the music video Aspire about this. It's sort of like an add-on that he helped made, and his art style is very unique. It feels something like anime, but not fully anime, if you know what I'm saying, or you see the images. If I show you, they feel someone who learning how to make it, but not be like a stickler to stick into that sort of model. He prefer goes his own direction, something that has its own personality, that you could easily say this is sort of a fan made anime, but it's not really anime, and that's how it feels in a way. It feels like Pixar tend to do anime but never sticking to it. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, I highly recommend it because it is good. The music video and the prologue video that's 8 minutes long is pretty good. Like, it is enjoyable. Then I hope the movie will be finished because that would take a long time. In fact, probably not 3 to 5 years, maybe 8 years. I honestly don't know. But it's something I do recommend it if you want to see it. It's on YouTube. Of course, have you seen it? Do you care? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about something else of the news. Now, another news on Twitter/X, Disgusting Films post the live action Legend of Zelda film will be released before 2030, at least. That's sort of the idea of that. If you don't know, they are making a live action movie of it, of Zelda. But the only problem is, nobody really wants it. I mean, there people did like the idea. It sort of makes sense. But Zelda makes more sense in animated form because all the crazy things is happening in the games. So yeah, on top of all this, which timeline they doing? Like, there is specific timeline, specific moments of the history of Link, how he got reborn and reincarnated to do sort of job to take down Ganon. Now it works. That's sort of the trope of the whole game. But on top of all this, Link does not have a personality. In fact, if you don't know, Zelda is basically the princess of whatever kingdom that Zelda lives, and Link is the hero. He is the main lead. But the only problem is Link does not talk of any of them. I mean, they attempted to give personality, but the very end they chose to not give it a personality. He sort of reacts to things. He's a side protagonist. He is the so stoic hero. But the only problem is it's sort of hard to be invested in a game if your main lead doesn't really care. The best way to say it, because Link is more of your approach. Like, you have interaction with other characters, but the only problem is it's sort of how you like that specific character you interact in. You make it more rude or more kind or sort of suspicious. Depends what sort of answer you give to the character. You get the idea what type of relationship you would get. But it's not sort of a click and point adventure. It's more you get the idea what is sort of Link in his relationship with the others. Usually it's just one-sided, just to give you the idea. It's more like half of it is written, the other half is fanficky. And that's the thing that everybody's wondering, can you pull that off? I mean, they attempted to make an anime series back in the late 80s, I think. It's the I remember the title of the cartoon. It was like a Saturday cartoon. Was I can't remember the title of it, but it's a Zelda cartoon. But the only problem is that Link was an asshole, and he had a phrase saying "excuse me" that became a meme, not words. But all of that, it didn't really follow the games. I thought it'd been mangas who give a sort of a personality to Link. He's sort of that adventurer, sort of stubborn, angry, but willing to do the right thing. But once more, it's sort of their interpretation in the manga. But all of them trying to make him a little bit arrogant, but they never really stick to it. That's the closest way to describe it. Like, yeah, you probably will not get the arrogant Link or any type of personality, but who knows? Who knows how they're gonna approach it? Even that, they want to make it sort of like Lord of the Rings sort of type, not Amazon Lord of the Rings, more the 2000s version of it, the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers version. They want to make it that version, but the only problem is it's kind of hard to pull it off. I mean, I don't know why they decide to make it live action. It makes sense in animated form, but who knows? This could be a really good one, or it could be a really bad one. In fact, do you care? Are you interested? Or you're sort of upset they did not make this to the animated series, because it sort of makes sense to make it an animated series. Of course, that's my 2 cents of this sort of subject matter. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, this news can piss off some people off a little bit. Is from Truffles reporting that it's officially confirmed on the promos of Teen Titans Go every single episode event marathon. It will be released on the CN on November 22. We'll run all 400 episodes to the 400 episodes special. And this is basically the point of Truffle saying, so if you're not a fan of Teen Titans Go, it's a bad time to watch Cartoon Network on November 22, because during that day, they will run every single episode every single day till they get the 400 episodes. So during that time, avoid it, because you'll be pissed off. Just go in the hours of watching Adult Swim, and that's it, because be every single episode. In fact, there have been some leaks showing Static Shock will appear as a cameo, and little other different characters will appear in cameo. But once more, it's up to you. Do you care or do you not? Because it's sort of hard to care about Teen Titans Go, because how much sort of device it really is. Just remember, this is not a reboot or anything. This is sort of a own spin-off series, but I do get why people hate it, because I also don't like it that much, but I got over it. I don't even care anymore, but I do watch it a couple of times. But be fair, I'm not watching it almost like 3 or 4 years ago, like that long. I actually stopped watching because I was hoping maybe it got better. In a way, it kind of did, because it just focused on the comedy. But once more, it just was all over the place. So yeah, it's like if you do like the show, you have to admit the show's still not as good what you think it is. You have its moments. Have some episodes pretty banger. Other times not really. So you can see why people still hate it. I don't blame you. Honestly, I'm sort of that type of person who would just go with the wind. Like, yeah, sure, I gotta watch this now, I guess. And that's basically it. I don't know you. Do you care? Do you not? Just hope this show's finally get cancelled. I highly doubt it, but it probably will someday. But it's almost like a hopefully kind of thing. But besides that, what do you think? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, this news is from all the Villainous fans out there. This from one of the Black Hat YouTubers posting in the new calendar of Villainous fighting coming out, and you just see all the images online. Specifically, I'm watching Vivi Cherry, that she is posting her calendar, what it look like, and you truly enjoy it. In fact, you want to see this complete all the images, I highly recommend watch Eddie's channel, Eddie Chimichanga on YouTube, that you only talk in Spanish, but you don't need to understand what he's saying, because he's just basically showing all the images of the calendar of Villainous. It's just FYI of some of the fans who want to see more Villainous content, and that's sort of kind of rare, because this fandom is just barely clawing on the wall, barely pushing itself, because how Cartoon Network is sort of abusing it. Like, they know we have a strong fan base, but just leaking little by some little fanfare stuff for the fans now, where some merch. It's sort of rare to see this fandom actually surviving each single year, waiting to drop the other final 5 episodes. He also waiting the other 20 episodes to be released on top of all this. But we got something at least to talk about. These, are you interested? Are you actually bought it, or you have the chance to buy it? Because this is sort of exclusive from Mexico. So this is the only way you could actually watch it. Or who knows, maybe you have a cousin the other side and actually bought it for you and deliver it to your home. Like, you're Latino, you know how to go around these things. But other than that, what you think about it? Have you seen it? Do you seen the video? See the images on YouTube? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, this news is from CRK on Twitter/X. If you don't know that channel just sort of look for bumpers, news for anything animation, and give you out very interesting facts or information for like DVDs. Like, for example, right now they're posting basically buy all the full complete set of Captain Planet, all 113 episodes include on this franchise. It's as huge as collection hours. But what is Captain Planet? Because I know some of you don't know what that is. Basically, it's sort of like 5 teenagers who attempted to save the world with super powerful wings, commanding a super powerful being who stop pollution. Yes, it's a very campy, very old type, but yet it's just sort of charming in a way because it is very teach to save the whole world, try and be green all the time, try not to pollute, pick up trash. Each villain is sort of idea of why the world's sort of dirty, like how corruption makes people make more filth, or cheaper production can make more trash, and etc. It's very weird, over the top, almost kind of like a gayish sort of theme into it by accident, because it does have this kind of gay theme by accident, because this is of the 90s, so it's sort of weird, but it's sort of cheesy. FYI, also they're making a live action version of Captain Planet, but supposed to be more gritty maybe, but who knows that ever coming out, because it's Captain Planet. Captain Planet supposed to be very cheesy, very over top, very dramatic, trying to save the planet of pollution, but it has that cheesy charm, almost musical in a way. It's not a musical, but you have the idea that sort of cheesy, almost accidentally becoming a Disney cartoon, but it's really not. It's sort of a Cartoon Network show, but it's sort of trying to teach you to be not polluted. It's very out there, very interesting. But other than that, do you ever heard of it? Are you gonna buy this DVD set of the full collection? Tell me down below, let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, another one from Truffles that be a little bit upsetting, because I did post it in my community tab. Basically posting creator Matt Zelling did confirm Battle Kitty will leave Netflix on December the 1st for no apparent reason. Even that, this anime series is the original series for Netflix. They did not buy it. They did not have a sort of pre-deal with someone else. They legit owned it. In fact, not just this one, other similar anime series, specifically especially a pick your own adventure sort of animated projects, but not just animated, also live action. I'm also 100% sure the Black Mirror special, the one you're supposed to click and go different directions, depends what you click, what events actually happen during that moment. Yeah, even that, all of them who just click and touch from Netflix will be removed. Not just Battle Kitty. That nobody knows why this happening or the reason, because most of them, a good chunk of them, were actually successful, but I'm guessing nobody actually use them anymore. That's at least the best speculation, or at least my prediction, the reason why they may decide to get rid of it, because it makes more sense. Let's say Battle Kitty that got removed. Okay, one series I can see apparently for them wasn't successful or what. It could be a very unsettling business decision they have to make. They think they're just wasting too much time of this on their own channel. That makes sense. But it's not just Battle Kitty. It's basically every single click a point touch show. You have quite a few of them. You have one Captain Underpants one. You also have another. You have another one. What was it? It was Captain Underpants, Battle Kitty. Another one is sort of another cartoon version of it that was sort of that six savory kind of version, sort of Looney Tunes. I just don't remember it, but it's basically just mostly those, but also some live action. Also, it's just sort of kind of weird. Like nobody really understands why specifically the click and touch adventure segments are being removed. Maybe because it's sort of a test. Because if you don't know, Netflix attempted to do gaming. They actually bought a gaming company and they shut it down because they never made anything unique or fun, something to put it on their platform. But it's one of those things that they still figure out what to do and how to get inside the gaming scenes, because they are basically in that very weird section. So they kind of need to do it because in logic it makes sense, not because it doesn't make sense because they're a streaming service. No, they're in the middle of the whole thing. They kind of have to, because you basically leaving money on the table, and they have to respond of the people who basically invest them. Like, why you not put money on this? Why you not try to invest it? That's why they sometimes need to try, even though it's sort of kind of pointless because it sort of doesn't make sense, but it does make sense on paper. That's how companies work sometimes. They have a very interesting product, but they only aim for one specific thing, but the product fits multiple different things. Now they kind of have to, because they have to answer their backers now. It's like, why you're not actually trying the other sections? Like, it makes sense. But at the same time, it doesn't, because their main focus is streaming. But once more, just to give you some logic why they make sort of decisions and the reason why they do it. Doesn't really make much sense, but maybe this was sort of a test to see how people react to see removing something that people don't really use that much. But Better Kitty is a very adorable show. In fact, it's sort of kind of gay coded in other words. If you like sort of gay content, this could maybe satisfy you, maybe, because not every gay cartoon, a gay person or a person who just like animation like me enjoys all the time. It all depends what type of flavor of gay you enjoy, in other words. But all of that, it's up to you. Do you care? Do you not? Or you never heard of Battle Kitty, or you heard of the other touch and go storytelling on Netflix? Tell me down below. Let me know. I got nothing else to say. Just let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, this news comes from Hollywood Handle, posted on the Twitter/X. Basically, the president of Hasbro did reveal they actually are talking about the director of Transformers 1 for a future project, but they're not confirming that it served a Transformers 1 sequel, because it's all about this article they link and sort of what they talk about of that specific article. I had read all the article. It just sort of just talking about a little bit of things in Hasbro, and how the president get into Hasbro, and how they got into filming and entertainment in general. But they are sort of briefly mentioning, yeah, we are talking about it, but they did not mention if they feel Transformers 1 was successful to them. It's all about, yeah, we are talking about a director, and that's it. But that also could be good news, because Transformers 1 did make their money. It took a little longer than they actually should, but at the very end, it's not how the movie is successful. It's all about how much they can sell the toys. If they could get their profit back just selling the toys, that's good enough for them, because at the very end, it's not the movie being successful. The movie is selling the toys. If they can make people buy the toys, everything will be fine. You could actually make another sequel. But once more, it all depends what it was the objective of the film. And that's it. Of course, if you wanted to read the article, I kind of sort of recommend it. I mean, sort of, because the article is sort of very winded now, where they have a lot of kind of talking a lot of weird stuff, but usually just for Hasbro stuff. But all of that, I kind of don't recommend it. Only if you're a hardcore fan, you want to know more. But just to remind you, they just briefly mentioned Transformers 1, and the director and that's it. The rest is all about the president, how he joined, how they manage everything, and that's it. But it does give you more hope because this gives it more bigger chance to have a sequel. It just maybe depends of the toy sales because the movie can fail but still get a sequel if they can sell the toys. That does not matter to them. They actually the movie is successful. It's more like a plus than anything else. But it all depends of the toys. But I don't know you how you feel about this. Are you excited to have a bigger chance or not? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, different one from Cartoon Brew on Twitter/X. They have like a small interview with Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, and they say, "You have any thoughts of a spin-off or renewal?" And Rebecca Sugar responded saying, "Well, really, yes, she wants to do maybe a spin-off or renewal of Steven Universe, but technically she can't touch it. But if you make a lot of noise, I mean, like rehash, let's say, renew Steven Universe like 100 times on basically X and Twitter, make a lot of noise, they actually cannot ignore it and actually see it. They actually thought about maybe continuing the franchise, but nothing really fully confirmed. It's just sort of a small quote from the Red Deck Sugar. If you're interested to making more Steven Universe, just put hashtag renew Steven Universe, or maybe tell it to maybe Paramount Video or co-host something like Batman words. And that's sort of some of the ideas. In fact, this sort of kind of small little quote was basically kind of trending on Twitter, not by a lot. They have at least 1,000 retweets, over 3,000 likes, and 160 comments. Most of them just retweets of renew Steven Universe please, or just renew Steven Universe in that set. And a lot of people are very interested of this idea, but see sort of how many views or how many people actually watched it, especially like 72,000 viewers watched this. Like, that's a lot of people. Even that's just a quarter of the fan base. This is just done a few days ago, so maybe it got bigger, or who knows, they will be trending or not. But other than that, are you interested? Do you care about Steven Universe? Be fair, I did like Steven Universe for sort of specific points. I like just the first couple of seasons. The rest of it kind of went down and burned a little bit because of how rushed it was, especially in the end. I was like a little disappointed. But if they just reboot the series and make it 10 seasons and just make the lore happen like regularly, or a spin-off series without rushing it, that'd be completely happy. But renew it, it's sort of hard to continue what you left off because you kind of rushed a lot of things. Like the Steven Universe spin-off series, the last one they made was good, but I do agree with some of the critics that it didn't need 10 episodes to figure out Steven is broken. Like, easily doing 2-3 episodes. But once more, that's sort of my opinion. I'm not against making a sequel or making a renewal. I may prefer a reboot, just sort of fix some of the issues and figure out to make the story more stronger, or at least make it longer in 20 minutes than less than 10 minutes, because Steven Universe might work in 20-minute form. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just sort of spitballing here, but it all depends how you feel. In fact, do you care anymore, or you don't care, or you never did? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Unfortunately, I have some bad news from Toon Hive that I did post it in my community tab, posting on the Twitter/X. Scavengers Reign will not be renewed season 2 on Netflix. The co-creator Joe Bennett confirms it. Even that the company who owns Scavengers Reign did make like a 2-minute sort of what season 2 could be if they got picked up, but that's sort of unfortunate because when they actually dropped it on Netflix, it wasn't really trending or did not make a top 10. At least make at least a number 10, they have at least a chance to have a season 2, or at least just a season 2 to maybe finish the whole season. But that's all we got, just one season, and a lot of fans are a little disappointed. In fact, even one of my commentators who actually put a comment on one of my posts saying they kind of found the ball. In a way, yeah, they kind of did. But at the same time, maybe Netflix was not the perfect place for Scavengers Reign. I feel maybe Amazon Prime feels a more better position to put it on because how sci-fi centric they actually are, and how much they like sci-fi, and also magical universes. Now words I'm tripping here, but you get the idea. But to be fair, making Scavengers Reign is almost impossible to make in Hollywood because when you make an animated project, you don't know will be picked up or not. Even that you got green light to make it, at least the pilot, you probably be in hold. Even that you actually finish the pilot, finish the cartoon Bible to understand what this is. You make an 8 or 7 minute pilot. Even that it's really, really good, even that you have credentials and proof you have a winning streak, they will not pick it up. A reason why you always need someone at the very top to see your potential. You need someone who believes, oh, this is good, and they want to keep pushing it and in front, even giving it season 2 a maximum. That's the only way you should get at least 2 seasons the max. In other words, you have to see and understand Hollywood sort of processes is sort of very, very flawed. Like sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't, and that's sort of the shame because this is underrated gem. But other than that, I don't know how you felt about this. You feel ashamed and didn't have a season 2, or you like me, you think this still have potential. It's just sort of maybe the wrong platform, maybe Amazon Prime or Apple TV. I think those two maybe fit better, but who knows? I mean, this thing you can't predict. You cannot predict people because even that you create specific animation for it, but that specific genre, specific people, they will not pick it up, or people are not even that interested. It's just sort of weird and unpredictable. That's the best way to describe it. In fact, I think one of the big examples is Gindie, the creator of Samurai Jack and Primal, that he posted I think a couple of days ago something very interesting. He made a movie that was never made. They was working up years and years that he never actually. He had everything done, in other words. Like, he just need the money, everything. He has proven himself. And no, they just left it in the corner and they never really used it. In a couple of days ago, he just dropped the news. Yeah, I have this project in the shelf for years. I can't do anything about it. And that's how it would work sometimes. Yeah, you win some and you lose one. But once again, just to show you how hard to make a animated project, you need just that producer to believe in you and love your project and keep pushing it. That's the only way to actually work. But all of that, let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Okay, another one from Too High posting something interesting. Is basically patching the third final film shows on Too High the Rotten Tomato score, and basically the score is 95%, and that is very good, especially with Paddington, because if you've not seen the movies are A's now. They're S ranking because each film is a smash hit. But except for the third one, because the third one, the director of the last 2 films did not return for the third film because maybe he thought, yeah, I can't make it another winner now. I'm done. He left. They chose a completely different director. But it seems to me that it's going to be the same thing as the third film. Could be a very good film or make this perfect trilogy of Paddington, because there have been a lot of people talking, yeah, this is the new trilogy, the best trilogy film ever. And that itself is sort of very hard to do because every time they attempt to do a trilogy and that's it, usually it fails. The fact the only sort of 2 films that people have sort of a standard and to compare is basically Back in the Future and The Godfather, and that's the only 2 sort of best franchise of a triple films. Even that people are debating the third film is not the best, but it's the best example of a perfect trilogy. And Paddington looks like could be the same thing. The third one doesn't have to be A. Needs to have at least an 80 or 90, and that's it. And that could be submitting it in the best animated project of the perfect trilogy. But once more, it all depends how you felt about this. And also, you can't really trust Rotten Tomatoes, because I have to remind people, Rotten Tomatoes is not a very good indicator, because sometimes they abuse it. Hollywood sort of manipulate it and make it a better score so they can actually convince you to watch the films, because at the very end, it's business. But seems to me this is being honest, maybe, but I don't know. It depends. I highly recommend to wait to see other people watching, especially fans who actually enjoy it, or at least someone you trust that have a decent opinion, or just wait for all the reviews, just decide if you want to see it or not. Or you're like me, if you've seen the rest of the films, you have to see it because you're sort of a completionist. You have to see it just because you have to finish the whole trilogy. Yeah, I can understand. If not, you wait. In fact, have you seen? Did you enjoy? Do you even care about it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now, our final segment to end all segments of this cartoon news is from Cartoon Broom, posting the short video of the 10th anniversary of Over the Garden Wall by Hartman, used by stop motion. Now, I have seen this, and I was sort of pleasant surprised because it is very, very good. In fact, it kind of trended a little bit on Twitter/X and also on YouTube. But if you never heard of it, what is Over a Garden Wall? It's basically two brothers who woke up at a very strange place, but they don't know where they are, but they being hunted down by the beast. But they had to figure out how to basically get out. But also meeting a kind of bird friend who talks and tempted to help her to help them their own situation. And that's basically the whole mini-series of Over the Garden Wall. And believe me, it is quite magical. It's the reason why Cartoon Network almost drop every single year around spring-ish or fall. They drop it almost. They stop doing it, but once in a while they do bring it up. But what was this short? This short is basically made by Hartman as stop motion kind of way, because Hartman is just stop motion. But the creator did state on it, I think it was Twitter, I think he's posted on, that he said he always imagined to make it stop motion, and he finally kind of got what he wanted. Not the way he thought would get. It's basically like a 2-minute short, and basically just followed the two brothers trying to reminisce and see what's happening during the day. And this short doesn't really fit in the 10 episode run. You could say in between, maybe episode 6, 7 or something like that, that was just sort of sitting down, laying on a tree and reminisced. But it sort of warned that tree have maybe magical abilities to manipulate you. But once more, it's just a quick in and out flashback of all the events, but using sort of stop motion. And people went crazy. People really did enjoy it. This is sort of a last hurrah of this franchise. Of course, be known, if you love Over the Garden Wall, if you did actually watch the series, or the mini-series, there is sort of a continuation by the creator in comic book form. In the comic book form, it is pretty good if you wanted to actually see it. Of course, some of you are wondering, why does it only have 10 episodes if the creator wanted to make more? Well, it's all about the creator did not want to leave his own state to make this show, and Cartoon Network loved the idea so much they sort of agreed for one specific thing, just making 10-minute episode, make it high budget. And the creator agreed, and he did the only one season. But of course, he still have ideas of it, so he decided to make another deal with Cartoon Network and continue making it in shorts. Not shorts, in a comic book form, in other words. And that's it. In fact, people really do enjoy it. It's sort of like a hello, thank you for watching sort of video. Something like, kind of like the congratulations or anniversary of Jim Henson. You remember that short video? It's something similar to this, but this one has like so much effort because the stop motion is really, really good. It really is enjoyable. I highly recommend it if you're a fan, especially stop motion really give you the vibes of the show so well. If you're not seeing, go watch it. I think it's on Max right now. I don't know if they took it out, but it should be there, or you can buy it in digital. But all that, did you enjoy it? Do you like it? Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching, and bye.